make no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. 1 minute you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
The revolution starts now.
We have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Turn those machines back on!
And we have to start by building a wall, a big, beautiful, powerful wall.
Show me the money!
You are fake news.
Oh, good for you. And how was it?
I don't know when they decided that they wanted to make a virtue out of selfishness.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
And that's the revolution on Lake Effect Radio, streaming live at lakeeffectradio.org/studio. And we're here today with Believe in Dreams with Tanya. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful, Jeremiah. Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
I definitely appreciate you guys coming out here and that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's sort of get into it in that. You want to sort of go over the summary of what your organization does?
Yes, absolutely. I'd love to. So some background on it. It was started by entrepreneur John DeJulius, and he saw a need in the Northeast Ohio area for helping grant dreams for disadvantaged children, economically disadvantaged children who suffered some sort of trauma, but non-medical. There are a lot of nonprofits out there that deal with medical issues for children. We deal with trauma that's happened to these kids that's non-medical. And so since the inception of the organization, which actually is a 501c3 nonprofit, we've been able to grant 237 dreams for children. So we've got some goals for 2020 that we can talk about a little bit later, but on average, each dream that we fulfill for a child costs about $3,000. Because what we try to do is when a child says, I'd like to do this, we try not to make it one thing. We try to stretch it out as an experience for them, and sometimes it includes their family, siblings, but we try to stretch it out for them. So it may be music lessons over a certain period of time, or some kind of sporting lessons for the child if that's their interest, just to help them bond more with their community.
It's more of an experience than just of, hey, I got to do this, than,
yes.
you know.
Yes, because that way we find if they bond with their community, there's a greater chance of these kids going on and thriving with whatever their interest is. And it gives them hope, too. We've seen that oftentimes when we get feedback from these children, the youth, and their families of saying, you know, how did this change your life? Did this give you hope? And they're coming back and saying, yeah, it gave me a spark. Somebody out there cares about me.
Fair enough. But how did you get interested in joining this organization?
Well, I actually am from Pennsylvania, Bedford, Pennsylvania. I was a previous Main Street manager for the town that I lived in. So that was a nonprofit. And this opportunity, I found it actually as I was job searching and looking to move to a new area. Believe in Dreams popped up, and I started to take a look at the organization and their mission and what they stand for, and the people who are a part of this organization, the staff, and John and his son Cal, their vision. I thought, this is good. This is something that I have built a skill level over the last few years that I think I can benefit the organization. So that's how I found Believe in Dreams.
Fair enough. So what would be your role?
Well, my role is Director of Development, which means I am the fundraiser and marketer. So one of the challenges that we find, Jeremiah, that we have is that people Believe in Dreams doesn't have name recognition yet. There are a few people who know, but not many. So that's why we appreciate the opportunity here to help spread the word about what Believe in Dreams is and what we're able to do for our communities. People know Make-A-Wish, just like that. You know, snap of a finger, you hear Make-A-Wish, you know exactly what they do. St. Jude's, you know exactly what they do. Believe in Dreams, you don't. You have to explain it to people. So this year, the focus is to try to get more exposure so that people know at the tip of their mind, at the tip of their tongue, I know what Believe in Dreams is.
Not only just the awareness of out there in different events and stuff.
And what we're doing. And so, we have a number of events. we're always looking for partnerships with businesses and volunteers, and we can't run this organization without a number of partners. And so we've been, and of course our board of directors, they're unpaid. So they give of their time, their talents, their resources to help spread the word as well. So volunteers, we find volunteers will come to an event and they'll see what we're doing and they'll say, oh, hey, whenever you're doing this again or you're doing something else, keep me in mind. I would like to contribute and I'd like to volunteer for this organization. So, we're slowly building up a nice, steady, healthy volunteer base, which is important for any nonprofit organization.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So what events do you guys do?
Oh, this is my favorite part because I like events for a number of reasons. Number one is they're fundraisers for us. Number two, again, going back to what we were talking about, our need is to get the word out. Events seem to help us get great exposure. So we have our largest fundraiser coming up on February 1st at the Ritz-Carlton in downtown Cleveland. It's the Gala. And so this is a silent and live auction, so we've gotten many donations. So if perhaps there's a business out there and you're looking to partner up and get some exposure, because this goes both ways. We not only want to take, but we'll give back some of our marketing exposure for them, people that we're connected with on social media, and we'll promote that business in exchange for the product or service that they're able to donate to us. So it's a win-win for everybody. If anybody wants to attend the gala, we have a few tickets that are left, and they can just check out our website, believeindreams.org. There's a button that they can click on that says events, and they can learn all about this gala. And again, it's coming up February 1st, so it's coming up very quickly. So anybody can help us. We would love for you to attend. We'd love for you to contribute your service or your contribution or sponsorships. We still are always in need of sponsorships, even up until the last minute. So if somebody's hearing that, contact us, contact me. I'd be happy to sit down and say, how can we create a great win-win here?
So what are your guys' goals?
Well, like I said, since the inception of the nonprofit, we've been able to grant 237 dreams for children. So in 2020, our goal is to grant 90 dreams. So that will affect 90 children in the Northeast Ohio communities. And so if you're taking a look and you're doing the math and 3,000 is the average and we're trying to help 90 children, that's 270,000 just for the dreams that we need to raise. And that's a good bit. So we're looking for some help to help reach these goals, partnerships. Again, I'd be happy to sit down with anybody and create a win-win plan. How can we benefit you in return for your financial assistance? There's a lot of different ways that we can work this, and I'm happy to sit down and speak with anybody about it.
Oh, it's definitely true. It's always a will and a way of
it is
coming up with some kind of plan, even though at first you would be like, I'm not sure. Then it's like,
well, be creative.
Yeah.
Because we can create maybe an experience in return for your investment in our organization. That's what we're looking for. We're not just going to take. We're about giving back, not only to these children, but those people who partner with us. That's what we're looking toward. That's what our goal is. And the other thing too is, Jeremiah, we can't. I'm saying we're going to affect 90 children. That means we need nominations. So there's a nomination process. So we need nominators. So you can also visit the website, and again, that's believeindreams.org, to find out how you can nominate children. We get nominations from teachers, coaches, caseworkers, those people who are involved with kids. And one thing that I didn't mention that I do want to mention, we were talking about who we help, and, the economically disadvantaged children who have suffered some type of non-medical trauma. But there's also another component of that is the child has to have some type of resilient spirit, which means if you're coaching a child and you see, or you're a teacher of this child and you see, gosh, this kid just needs a boost. Like he's had some yucky stuff happen to him in his life, but yet he's ready to just dig in, he or she. There's just a spark about them. And I'll give you an example. Shortly after I was hired by Believe in Dreams, I was able to take a young dreamer. Experience-wise, he wants to be an architect. And he wanted to go to a Browns game. And so with the help of the Browns public relations, we were able to provide a VIP experience for this young dreamer. He was 11 years old, and he was able to go down on the field, see the players up real close. And one of the things that he did was he wanted to buy a football. So we bought him a football, and the only thing he was thinking about was, tomorrow when I go to school, I want to be able to play with my football that I bought at the Browns game. I want to be able to play with that with kids, that are in my class. So we were down in the field, and I saw some scurrying around, and a real tall gentleman with a suit on, looked very important, was signing. And here he grabbed his football and he signed this football. And I said to the public relations lady, who is this? And she said, well, he is the recruiter for the Browns. He used to play for the Packers, and now he's recruiting. And so she said to this little dreamer, now you make sure you protect that football. Don't ever sell it. You can make a lot of money with this football by him signing this, but you take care of this football. So I was toting a bag around. So he slid that football the whole way down in the bottom of my bag. But in his face, Jeremiah, I could see, now I'm not going to be able to play with this football at recess tomorrow. So we went through the game, and I will tell you, this little 11-year-old, when we're talking about a resilient spirit, this child, I picked him up at 4:30 for this game. I didn't drop him off until 11 o'clock that night. He carried on a conversation that was like an adult conversation, not like I was talking to an 11-year-old. This kid had something special about him. And the wrestling coach and one of his teachers, that was who nominated him. And so this coach saw something in this kid and said, hey, why don't you come to practices with me? Come to wrestling practices. Just hang out with me. So he was nominated. But that's what we're talking about when we're saying about just giving a kid some hope. This child had some pretty traumatic stuff happen within his family. He was, mom was out of the picture, dad was out of the picture, and grandmother was raising him. What a great kid. What a great person this grandmother was that I got to spend time with. So after the game, we were headed out, and he saw another store, and he said, could we buy another football? And so we bought another football so he could play at recess with the kids, so that he would be able to say, I got this at a Browns football game. Now, the best part about this story is this. So he wanted to be an architect. So again, not just a one-time experience. We're able to do some job shadowing, set up some interviews with people, just to give these kids an extra, let me think about your future now. And so we paired him with an architect, and was getting ready to put him in the car to take him down to the stadium, because this architect firm, they're the ones who designed the stadium. So he was going to get a back behind the scenes tour.
Neat.
Isn't it neat? Back behind story. So this child, this little 11-year adult child that we're talking about, says to the architect, I want you to sit in the back with me so I can talk to you the whole time. And that's how it happened. Toured, sat in the back of the car, and he chatted with this architect the whole time, asking really great questions, finding out everything. So why I love this story so much is it gives people a chance to see what we really do, where that $3,000 is going. Again, not just to give a kid an experience on a field to watch a football game. That's part of it. But here we have this child now who's gotten the chance to speak with this architect, go back and have a dialogue with this architect, see the work that they've done. This kid, we never know.
Not really the one place he was already at.
Yes, right.
Coming back to see what came into it to
Yes.
make it sort of happen.
Jeremiah, you never know when somebody partners with us like this. When I'm talking about partners, this is what I'm talking about. This architect firm, the Browns people who give us these VIP experiences for these kids. But to be able to say to this child, or you never know what's going to happen in the future. This child might be the next architect who designs the next stadium in downtown Cleveland. You never know.
It's true.
And that's what's exciting. The seeds that you plant now in the investment, financial-wise, talent-wise, resource-wise, time-wise, you know, sometimes you may think, wow, okay, well, that didn't seem like that made much of a difference. Well, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, maybe 10 years down the road, maybe 15 years down the road. You never know.
It's true. Yeah. But that's like the one thing. The stadiums down there aren't getting any, younger.
That's exactly
in
right.
That, so
we're able to provide, job shadowing. We have one little dreamer who wants to be a Marine. And so we're able to coordinate a lunch with a Marine so he can sit down and have a dialogue with this person and say, hey, what path do I need to take to do what you're doing? And so, again, that's just as simple as somebody's time, but somebody's willing to give up that time. That Marine is willing to give up his time to sit with this young person to make a difference in this person's life.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So how can someone get involved with your organization?
Well, if they would reach out to us, the contact information is on our website, believeindreams.org. So they can call me. They can just call the office, email us, let us know how you want to be involved, and we'll plug you into whatever your interest is. If it's volunteering, we'll fit your talents and your skills with something that would be fitting to help our organization and to be in a place where you want to be as far as volunteering. Businesses, sponsorships, partnerships. Let me give you another example because I've got so many great examples of stories. About a year ago, there was a dream grantor who said, I've got a plane, I have a pilot. If you ever have a child who's interested in anything that has to do with an airplane, flying, whatever, let me know. I can make that happen. So what do you do with that? All right. Well, fast forward a year, and a few months ago, we were able to fulfill a dream for a young dreamer who said, I want to learn how to fly a plane. So we contacted this man who made this offer a year ago, and we have videos, which if somebody goes to our Facebook page, Believe in Dreams Facebook page, you'll be able to see the video of this young child flying this airplane, taking off and getting instructions on how to fly an airplane. Now, how cool is that? So perhaps there's somebody listening who says, oh, okay, well, I have this that I can donate. Just call us because we'll put that on a list because we never know when a child will say, hey, I need this, or I'd like to do this, or can you partner or give me this experience? And so we can go back and say, yeah, we have that on a list that somebody, has been able to provide for us.
Fair. I would. Actually, you don't hear that much anymore. Kids wanting to fly planes or want to be pilots.
Isn't it?
I know.
Now, the other part of that story, I love all these stories so much. His brother wanted a VIP experience, wanted to go to a Browns game. So, again, we were able to give him a VIP experience. He wanted to meet Odell Beckham Jr., and so the Browns actually have video of OBJ coming over and meeting and greeting and talking to our little dreamer. He goes back out on the fields warming up. We have another video of OBJ coming back over to our little dreamer and giving him his receiver gloves. Our little dreamer is standing there with a picture with OBJ's receiver gloves on that he got to take home, that he got to keep. Now, those are, we talked about flying a plane and going VIP experiences at the Browns, and we've done the Cavs, and we've done the Indians. Sometimes, Jeremiah, kids just want, let me say this. You and I are going to go home tonight in a nice, warm house, and you're going to flip the covers back on your bed, and you're going to crawl in your bed, pull the covers over and you're going to go to sleep with not a care in the world. Your belly's probably going to be full, but that's not necessarily true for these kids that we're dealing with. Some of these kids, they one request that we had from a little child was, I just want to go to bed in a bed that doesn't have bugs. So it could be big dreams. It could be something as simple of, can I have a bed?
Yeah, it's always a mixture of things.
It is.
It all depends on necessarily the individual. Of it could be very simple to a little bit up there.
Yeah.
We all have our sort of scales.
Yeah. So, and I will tell you also, when we're talking about partnerships, and we were talking about the dream grantor who offered the airplane and his pilot. We also, this will just give people some more thought starters of how you can help believe in dreams. We have a remodeler, a person who does remodeling, and we had a young dreamer who said, I'd like a bedroom makeover. And so he was just going to go into the bedroom. He was just going to paint the walls. When he got in there, he saw such deplorable condition that this bedroom was in. He wasn't just going to do the paint on the walls. So he completely redid this bedroom. The flooring, ripped up the flooring, put new flooring down, walls, ceiling, new bed in there, new furniture. This child has a whole new bedroom makeover because of this person's donation. He donated all of it, his time, his resources, his talent in being able to do this. So, I mean, perhaps it's a handyman who's out there, a construction worker, who says, oh, listen, I can hang drywall. I can do this. That's other ways that people can get involved with our organization, not just help at a gala or another event. And we were talking about events. We do have a couple more events coming up later on if it would interest anybody. And that is, we do a golf tournament at Barrington Golf Club. And that's July 13th. And then we also do a 5K race at the Metro Park Zoo. And that's September 20th. So if you like to run, or even if you don't like to run, come out and help us. Run, walk, or, sign people up to run. There's a whole lot of work that we can give you to do if you want to volunteer for that job.
Natalie, you're probably also looking for volunteers with the run and all that too.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So people can reach out because it's not too early. I mean, we're talking about September, but we're planning now for that. So if you're interested in volunteering, you like to run, grab a group of friends, family, whatever, now's the time to check that out. Or
sign up to do the run, but not do the run, but help out behind the scenes.
You can help behind the scenes. We're looking for sponsorships. So, and there's other things that we'll have coming up throughout the year that we're working on. So if somebody just goes to our Facebook page, that's how we communicate oftentimes. Sign up for our email newsletter because we'll communicate to you that way also, and you'll hear little tidbits, stories of here's what's been happening with some of our dreamers. It's great stories like some of the ones that I've shared with you.
Fair enough. But yeah, I couldn't help but that reverse psychology there for a second.
Right.
And that.
Right.
So describe your most rewarding experience.
My most rewarding experience to date would have been when I had the opportunity to spend that amount of time with the little dream grantor that I was talking about. Again, that you're giving up of your time. I had to pick him up at 4:30, and I didn't get home myself until midnight that night. And I never even thought, gosh, it's late, because it was such a rewarding experience, such a rewarding evening spent with this child, who again doesn't have parents. So the things that we talked about and had a conversation about, again, planting those seeds for impact possibly at a later time in this child's life. And I will tell you too, and it just made my absolute day whenever his grandmother, a couple weeks later, texted me and said, hey, listen, I just want to thank you again for the evening that you gave to my grandson, and Merry Christmas. She didn't need to take the time to do that, but she did. So that to date, there's been a lot of great things that have happened, but that to date is by far the most rewarding experience I've had with this organization.
Fair. But that's kind of fun. Yeah, you wouldn't think a grandmother would, but that meant the world, though, to her, necessarily, of something she could never do
on
herself.
Her own. Yeah, no. And, and she may have been able to, down the road, take him to a game, but to give him the experience that the Browns public relations people partner with us on, so that he's right down on the field. I can reach out and I can touch a player, is pretty impactful for these kids.
It's like one out of how many people that get to do that.
It really is.
Unless you're the media and et cetera.
Yes, right. Yes.
Yeah, it's a very, very.
So they're great partners of ours. The Cavs are also, the Indians, any of those professional games experiences that we're able to create for kids are very popular.
Yeah. So what do you feel are the two biggest issues for your organization?
Nominations. So we're always looking for people to nominate children, and there's a process. So if you are listening and you're interested in that aspect of it, please, again, visit the website and go through the form so you know what the criteria is. And once again, trying to get the word out about what Believe in Dreams is in Northeast Ohio, because again, that covers a lot of counties, and we're willing to, reach out to as many counties and communities as what we can. But again, we need those nominations. We need to know which areas and which kids are in need. So those would be the two biggest challenges. And of course, financing. I mean, it's a nonprofit, so there you go. That's probably number one. You're always looking
that's
to
always sort of that
sustain
top
your organization.
5.
It really is, yeah. So I would say the big thing is funding to keep our organization going. But when you're doing the right thing, that stuff falls in place, and it will fall in place.
Slowly but surely, it always does. It always works out somehow, some way.
Yeah, and again, we're working on a development plan for businesses. And actually, just to plant some ideas, I have a company that I'm working with right now, and they choose one nonprofit per year to focus on. Their employees they donate money, and then the company matches. And so that's a way that organizations can get involved. They can fundraise on their own, too. Top Golf is a great example. You like to golf, get in there and do a fundraiser for us. There's a number of different ways for people to raise money and then donate that money back to our organization if it seems like it's a good fit and our mission aligns with what you think is important and for your money. And I will tell you also, on GuideStar, we have reached the platinum level of transparency, which is the highest level you can get for a nonprofit. And so we've been good stewards of the money that has been given to us. We run a tight ship. We really do. Our executive director, Katie, watches all the expenses, and we don't spend money on frivolous things. It goes to those dreamers and, operational stuff. Of course, you've got to operate your place. Your place. But it's very lean. It's not excessive spending, not even, spending in areas that we're just very tight with
it's
the money.
No, private little trips somewhere, whatever.
Absolutely
that doesn't
not.
Happen.
Absolutely
no,
not.
I feel
Nope.
it.
Nope. No.
That's like here. Everyone thinks, oh, yeah, you get paid. Yeah, no.
It doesn't work like that, does it?
No, it doesn't necessarily.
Yeah. So we're running, it's very transparent. You can, see where the money is being spent. And so we've been good stewards of that money that has been, because if you're a business, if I'm a business owner, which I am, and I'm going to give my hard-earned money to somebody, a nonprofit or whatever, I would expect that they would do with it what they say they're going to do with it and be transparent with their money and put it to where it's they say they're going to. And so we do. People can count on that, 100% count on that.
Fair enough. So, describe working with the others to accomplish a common goal?
Ask me that again.
Or what? I know it's a Monday before a semester starts. So describe how you would work with others to accomplish a common goal.
Well, so our common goal is children of Northeast Ohio, again, economically disadvantaged, that have suffered some non-medical trauma, but yet have a resilient spirit. So that's the common goal, helping these children in Northeast Ohio. So working with other people, again, I've given a lot of examples of how people can help us and we can work together. Volunteering, not only are you going to get a great experience yourself, but you're going to help us out in businesses with sponsorships. We'll sit down, we'll work it out, we'll partner together, we'll get creative. I love creative ideas. So, if you think it's an off-the-wall idea, I don't care. Come to me. I don't know if this is true, but Steve Jobs is attributed to this. He used to tell his employees, don't come to me with an idea unless at least 3 people have laughed at you. So if you think that you've got this far out idea and, maybe 1, 2, 3 people have laughed at you, I don't care. Let's get creative and figure out how we can help these kids. There's some creative ways that we can partner together.
Oh, yeah. Or even sort of here sometimes it might be a little out there and you might not think and a few people might not work, but you just go plant that in someone's head.
Yes,
that
you
they
never
could
know.
always tweak it to turn it to something.
You're exactly right. One little piece of that idea may be the spark that is the next great fundraiser for us or the next great thing that happens.
80% of it's good and it's just
exactly
gotta
right.
figure
exactly right. So
rewrite.
So I invite creativity. So if anybody wants to call and say, hey, listen, I have an idea for a fundraiser, I'd love to talk to them about it. Or I have this idea of how we can create a win-win. We work with other nonprofits too, shared resources. So perhaps there's another nonprofit and there's a way that we can share some resources or, some best practices type thing. We're always ready to hear those types of, conversations or, get ourselves involved with any type of conversation like that.
Sure. So this is sort of, in a way, a bounce off in it. So with collaborating with other agencies in the local, regional, national level, who would, or do you, or you don't have to necessarily list them. It's in a way, it's a sort of a good bounce off of that.
You know what? It may be just a collaboration between 2 organizations, 2 nonprofits. Because again, nonprofits are always out there. Everybody's after the piece of pie. All right.
It's true.
But if we can coordinate volunteer lists, if somebody says, hey, listen, I want to volunteer for your organization. And if somebody else says, hey, I'm in need of volunteers, and that person doesn't mind us sharing that name to help them get involved. I mean, there's a number of different ways where we can use, do shared resources. Another thing that we're offering too, and one of our staff members, her name is Nicole, she works on the dreams with the kids. And the presentations of them and just all the logistics that has to do with the dreams. She works with the interns that we get from colleges. And so she's working on a list of services that will be beneficial for some of these families. If they have a need in a certain area, she'll be able to say, okay, well, this organization can help you with that specific problem. So that's what her goal is to create this really great list. So again, that's collaborating with other agencies, other organizations, just to help the common goal, to help these kids, to help these families.
Fair. So, off of that, so what services do you offer those in the community and individuals?
The services, again, just helping the community's children That's our service. That's that's why we exist. That's why we spend the time that we spend every day working at Believe in Dreams, is to have an impact in these children's lives. And that's why we exist.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So how do you guys measure or the impact in the organization?
That's a great question. Again, I was talking about Nicole. That's pretty much what she and our executive director, Katie, spend a lot of time, because, again, metrics is very important, especially when we're applying for grants and those kinds of things. People want to know what your metrics are. How are you having an impact? We have a survey, a questionnaire that goes out to our dreamers, and when their dream has been granted or fulfilled, we get that feedback from these kids, from these families about, it's questions about how this dream helped you with your life. Did we have an impact in your life? Do you feel like you have more hope now? What has this experience done for you? And so we get that feedback, and Nicole puts that into graphs and charts for us. We have, she and I were just talking this morning about, the graphs that she pulls together as far as hardships. So she has listed out, if you called her today and said, what are a list of all the hardships that your dream kids have gone through, she can list them all out for you. Whether it's some type of abuse or neglect or whatever it is, she can tell you what trauma, what hardship those kids have gone through. So those are the metrics that we keep. Ages of the kids that we're servicing, but really the impact that we're having, that information that comes back to us is really important and very gauging for how to move forward in the future.
Because every year's sort of different in that.
No, not necessarily different. Just more. We're 5 years old now, looking into going into the future. We're just when the organization seems like it's hit a certain number of years, there's some momentum there. We're able to do more. We're able to affect more kids.
Fair enough. So, what other events besides the gala?
Yep.
You have coming up this year.
So again, we have the golf tournament coming up, and we were talking about that as a fundraiser, but there are companies out there who take their clients golfing all the time. If they would just think about turning that into a fundraiser for us and do a little bit of a tournament, there's a win-win. You get to take your clients and golf with them, but yet you can raise a little bit of money for Believe in Dreams and donate it back to us. That would be fabulous. But our set Barrington Golf Club tournament that we have, again, that's on July 13th. So we're looking for foursomes. So people out there listening, if you like to golf, give us a call. We'll get you signed up. That's going to fill real fast because a number of teams that came last year are going to come again, because it's an all-day event. You get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you get fed very well on top of all the golfing that you get to do. And then again, the 5K race that we have set at the Metro Park Zoo on September 20th. We have some other things. This past year, Larry, who owns, our part owner, owns the Yours Truly restaurants. I believe it's 4 of his restaurants, he always partners with some nonprofit, and they do Pancakes for a Purpose. So our office is located in Beechwood, and so Chagrin Falls, the Yours Truly that's in Chagrin Falls, he was able to partner with us this year, and so we were able to benefit from his generosity. So that's always Thanksgiving morning. You go have pancakes before you eat your turkey meal, and there's no cost to it. You just go and eat your pancakes, and then you make a donation. So that was very successful. So we're very thankful to Larry for choosing Believe in Dreams to be a part of this last year. And so we would hope to be able to repeat that, because it was a great fundraiser for us. And I think it's something that we can build up each year. So thanks to his generosity, we may be doing that again this year. And we're taking a look at some other potential fundraisers of how we might be able to again, use the fundraiser or events as a marketing tool, a way to get the word out about Believe in Dreams. I mean, Top Golf, again, we're taking a look at something for that, and using them as a fundraiser.
It's always different avenues. It's just examining them.
There is. And again, if somebody just follows our Facebook page, you can keep up to date with all of those and sign up for our email address or sign up for our email newsletter. We'll keep you up to date. We post often, and we keep you well informed of what's going on, because communicating those types of things and communication is so important.
Fair. So, do you guys take donations?
Oh my, do we take donations? You can make your check out to Believe in Dreams today or tomorrow.
Except you guys have a thing too online that you could take cards online.
Yeah,
too?
we do.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a great point, Jeremiah. Yeah. So there's a button actually on the website. It says donate. So if you just click that, you can donate any amount. No amount is too small. Every bit of it helps. And so I'll tell you the other thing that I'd be really interested in too, and we were talking about, donating and just fundraising and getting creative. I'd be interested in partnering with some schools, private schools, or if you're listening and your kids go to school and you're looking for a cause or a way to, get your kids involved. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Come up with some kind of program where kids are saving their pennies or their change or doing bake sales or whatever, and then cutting a check to Believe in Dreams. I mean, it's getting these kids involved. So I'd love to hear what people have to, their creativity and thinking about, how can I get my kids involved? My kids go to this private school or my kids go to this school. And I'd really like for them to do something along these lines. Let's focus on how we can get the, focus off of ourselves and on to how can we help somebody else. I'd be interested in talking with anybody on that.
I definitely.
So donations, yes. We take donations.
Especially because it's just that another, avenue.
And it's a tax deduction too for companies. It's for individuals too. It's, we're a 501c3 nonprofit, so it's a tax deduction for you as far as your donation is concerned.
Yeah. Outside that, if you want to hit your social media again.
Oh, I sure would. Yeah. Well, first of all, again, our website is believeindreams.org. We're on Facebook almost every day. So, again, keep up with that. You can just search Believe in Dreams. It'll pop right up, like that page. And that's the way we can stay connected. When you go to the website, just make sure that you leave your email. So that will put you on our email newsletter so that we can continue to go back and forth. And again, anybody can feel free to email me. It's Tanya@believeindreams.org. Send me whatever you're thinking, whatever your information you need. I'm happy to sit down and talk with you. Let's create some kind of win-win here. And again, we really appreciate you here, Jeremiah, for allowing us the time to get the word out, helping us to spread that word. So talking about partnerships, you're a partner for us, and we appreciate that.
I appreciate you coming up, not letting shoot an email to back there in December.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was our first connection. Yeah. So, and you made this happen really, really quickly for us here out the gate of 2020. So, very much appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you not only coming and taking time to talk about your organization. Yeah. And all what you guys do.
Yeah, and I came and you gave me all these little gifts. So, wow. That was a nice surprise.
I know.
You.
And the funny thing is, years ago, we didn't have things like this.
Yeah, well,
because we were
such a
sort of
treat.
struggling. Now we're actually there.
Yeah. Well, great. And I know your organization here, you're doing the same thing. You're fundraising and you're trying to raise money. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. And we're all helping to get the word out as far as marketing together. And, anytime that we can partner together like this, it's fantastic. So thank you.
Yeah, and thank you.